Bray. I'm a senior lecturer of performance practice at Leeds Metropolitan University and artistic director of the Till Thursday Theatre Company based at Green Room in Manchester. And the reason that I say that again is because for me, those two roles, career-wise, developed absolutely alongside each other. And I find it very difficult to imagine one of those worlds existing without the other. Books are mirrors. You only see in them what you already have inside you. This presentation is a bit of a stumble, I suppose, a little bit of a ramble, and I suppose I should apologise for that, but I've checked with a number of people in the building, and apparently stumbling and rambling is something that can be encouraged. I'd like you to imagine, if you will, for me, a mirror, a broken mirror. Maybe it's here somewhere on the floor. It's shards of glass and fragments. But maybe during the course of the next half an hour, I'm going to try to pick some of that stuff up without getting cut. All I really want to be able to do is to see my own face. And I suppose, to be honest, that shouldn't be a very difficult task for anybody. I'm nervous standing in this room in front of all of you, such esteemed colleagues from all over the world with such expertise. And I'm sure that you can identify with that feeling. I'm thinking a little bit about what it's going to feel like after this event, when I reflect back on this moment, the moment just before I really started. I wonder if it will feel a little like this. Sitting there in the late spring sunshine, watching the university stir and wake to its usual activities, I felt a sudden envy of all of those ordinary-looking students and faculty striding here and there. They thought that tomorrow's exam was a serious challenge, that department politics constituted high drama, I reflected bitterly. Not one of them could have understood my predicament or helped me out of it. I felt the loneliness suddenly of standing outside of my institution, my universe, a worker bee expelled from the hive. In Learning and Pedagogy in Communities of Practice, Leigh and Wenger, and this article, Learning and Pedagogy in Communities of Practice, is in no way subject specific to performance and theatre, which is my area, defines a community of practice as a place that implies participation in an activity system about which participants share understandings concerning what they're doing and what that means in their lives and for their communities. It doesn't necessarily mean co-presence, a well-defined, identifiable group, or socially visible boundaries. We assume that members have different interests, make diverse contributions, and hold varied viewpoints. Perhaps this place, here in Birmingham, is our community of practice, in Leigh and Wenger's terms. I was commenting to Philip just yesterday about how I really enjoyed the experience of being at the last of these conferences in Castle. What I particularly enjoyed was the diversity of expertise that was at the event, and how often we spend so much time specifically in our own subject areas. So to dive into other people's research and other people's thoughts within that more global notion of the arts and society, I think is really Is it because we believe in maximum effect in absolutely every single facet of the gem, including but not limited to the pursuit of truth, which has been unduly smoothed over and made soothing? Now, for those who've been doing the polluting, in fact, I wrote it down, and I have here in my chest an outline, a list, a platform, a manifesto, a mandate. From intro to outro, it's absolutely rock solid. So, from the top to the bottom, and the bottom to the top, here's our outlook and how it reads. Number one, we don't believe in other people thieving the ideas that our cerebrums cultivate and create. But if you're stealing them, well, that's a calculated mistake, a combination infinite involving digitized code you can't break. Point two, we believe in unconditional control, not under supervision of another operator. So what that means is our beliefs and boundaries can all be balanced properly without restriction, limitation, or revoke. Point three, I don't believe in you controlling me. That's point three. I'm not obligated to listen to shit that you're telling me. That's the type of thing that could lead to a felony. I don't give a fuck if you're going to yell at me at the top of your lungs. You do that, otherwise it isn't going to get done. And now I'll hold the reins to my tongue and decide when to close and open the door to point four. Point four, you've been warned, so before we move on, just from point four on, just so you don't distort the order and make us go back and forth, once more, let's repeat what we've recorded thus far. Now, point one, we don't believe in other people thieving the ideas that our cerebrums cultivate and create. Make no mistake. Point two, we believe in unconditional control of our beliefs and our opinions, our souls, our growth, and our dominions. Point three, we don't believe in you controlling we. I'm not obligated to do, or say, or listen to a goddamn thing. And point four, we believe in all of the above, just for the reasons given: up, living not, giving up, setting government, and loving it, so that we're self-sufficient and not tripping up on that subliminal stuff. We're not submitting to coming to it rough and tough. We're going to supplement your knowledge with substance. We're not going to let an opportunity get left out. We're not going to let some indecision stop what we're about. We're not going to show any mercy